All right, I've got a little project here. We just pulled down some mirrors on these walls. I've already retextured this wall. It's got a really fine texture. It actually looks fairly substantial here, but it's a very fine texture, which is one of the hardest textures to match if you're working out of a can. This job wasn't big enough to warrant bringing out the hopper guns and air compressors and all that kind of stuff. So we're just doing this out of a single can, maybe 2 cans. But what I'm doing is trying to match this really light orange peel texture out of a can, which typically you can't do. One way to help this process along is get a spray bottle, and these are actually really good spray bottles. They have adjustable tips on them from Lowe's. But just spray the wall down, not soaking wet, but especially the areas, if you've got any places where you put new drywall mud, those need to be fairly wet. Otherwise they're gonna dry your compound out as soon as that texture sprays on. It'll dry instantly and it'll have fairly tall peaks to it. But if you get the wall wet, let it sit for a minute so it's not running on you. Not sure if you're gonna be in the frame there or not. Got you balanced on a doorknob. Okay. One thing with these spray cans, you don't do it like you do with a paint spray can where you're gonna start and stop and then start and stop. You want it to be continuous spray. Start on a piece of cardboard to get all the clumps and clogs out of the nozzle, and then just get onto the wall and keep spraying. Adjust your tip to get the right size, but other than that, once you start, don't stop until you're done. I'm trying not to stand in front of the camera, but I'm not sure if I'm accomplishing that very well. Looks pretty good. I think that's a pretty good match. Let's see how this other one turned out. I think it turned out all right earlier. Yeah. Clean your nozzle out. Just turn the gun straight upside down and spray it on a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper, just something. Just get that tip cleaned out. And these things will usually stay good for at least a few weeks. Once you've used them though, they will tend to dry out in the storage if you leave them too long. I like to clean the tips as best I can in nice warm water. But that's really all there is to it. Just once you start spraying, keep spraying and don't stop. And these will lay down pretty well if you pre-wet the walls. Kind of hard to get a good idea, but that texture is pretty close, and always overlap. For those of you who haven't ever done this before, you want to spray and feather this finish in, which means you're going to spray the area you're working on, but then also over into the area that was already existing, because you want the textures to overlap a little bit so it kind of hides the fact that one of them's a repair. Ooh, on the camera that looks like a deep groove in the wall, but it's actually not. It's just looks bad on camera for sure. Anyway, that's all there is to it. And this, I think it's Homax. That's the brand I like to use if I'm using a spray can. You can get pretty good results out of this. They've got the orange peel. They've also got other kinds of texture like knockdown and popcorn. For whatever person would ever want to put popcorn back in anywhere. But there you go. Thanks for watching. If this was at all helpful to you, please like and subscribe. And if you click the notification bell, you'll get notified whenever we put new videos out like this one. Thank you.